Good evening. Tonight I'm calling for Yvette Cooper to resign as Home Secretary.
Imagine this. Your Home Secretary, the one person sworn to protect our borders, our families, our very way of life, sends her lawyers into a courtroom to declare that the rights of asylum seekers outweigh the rights of British citizens. Yes, you heard that correctly. The government itself argued that the interest of illegal migrants who have just broken into our country come before the rights of hard-working taxpayers. That statement alone should shake the nation to its core. But this, dear viewers, is just the beginning of a scandal that could tear apart what little trust remains in our leaders. But before we get started, if you find value in what we're doing here, lend us a hand and subscribe today. Thank you for your support. At the heart of this storm lies the Bell Hotel in Epping, a once ordinary establishment now turned into yet another migrant hotel under Labour's watch. But this isn't just about accommodation, it's about a horrifying allegation. A man staying in that very hotel has been accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old British schoolgirl in uniform. He denies the charges, but here's the real outrage. When the case to shut down the hotel reached the courts, Home Secretary Yvette Cooper Udeagle team argued that such allegations were not reason enough to close it. Stop and let that sink in. A child's safety dismissed as an insufficient cause for action by those in power. And it gets worse, much worse. The Home Office did not intervene in the case when it was first heard in the High Court. They only step in at the very last minute, moments before the judge was due to deliver the verdict. Why? Because, as her lawyers admitted in open court, the department was simply too slow, too disorganized. In their words, it was unsatisfactory. The window was extremely tight. And why was it so tight? Because it was August. In plain English, Yvette Cooper was likely on holiday, interrailing across Europe with her husband Ed Bowles, while one of the most explosive immigration cases in modern history was unfolding at home. Inexcusable doesn't even begin to cover it. But that's not all. Cooper's much-trumpeted deal with France to stop the small boats is collapsing before our eyes. We were told French police would finally intercept vessels in their waters.
That they will now start to intervene in French waters in order to prevent small boats.
And what's the excuse now? The water is too cold. So the boats continue, the arrivals continue, the chaos continues. Yvette Cooper, far from being a leader, has become the opposite of King Midas. Everything she touches turns not to gold, but to ruin. Now let's step away from the political wrangling for a moment. Think about the human beings this affects. Ordinary British families, the parents who fear for their daughter's safety walking home from school, the young couples priced out of the housing market while hotels across the nation are handed over to people who arrived illegally, the local communities in towns like Epping who feel voiceless, silenced, dismissed as far-right bigots when they dare to protest. These people are not extremists. They are teachers, nurses, shopkeepers, builders, ordinary citizens whose only crime is to demand safety in their own country. And yet, the message from our government could not be clearer. Your concerns do not matter. Your children's safety is secondary. Your rights as British citizens are negotiable, but the rights of illegal migrants are not. Is this what we voted for? But the rot goes deeper still. Presiding over this case was Lord Justice Bean, a man with a long record of political involvement. For 28 years, he was reportedly a member of the Labour Party. He chaired the Fabian Society, the socialist think tank that has shaped left-wing policy for decades. He even founded Matrix Chambers, home to figures who have battled Britain in international courts. Now let's be clear, there is no evidence that Justice Bean acted improperly. But for ordinary Britons, what does this look like? A Labour judge overseeing a case involving a Labour Home Secretary, making decisions that place migrant rights above local communities. If you were writing a political thriller, you could not invent optics this damaging. And here's the bitter irony. Labour came to power mocking the Conservatives for their failures on small boats. They vowed to fix the system, to restore order, to smash the gangs. But what have we seen since Yvette Cooper took office? More migrant hotels, more small boats, more excuses, and a Home Secretary too busy holding up refugees' welcome signs in opposition to deal with the real crisis in government. This summer, as the beaches of Kent filled with boats, Cooper's new bolder command had no one in charge, no urgency, no leadership, just delay after delay. Imagine for one moment if this had happened under a Conservative Home Secretary. Imagine the outrage, the calls for resignation, the endless headlines. But because it is Labour, because it is Yvette Cooper, we are told to swallow the excuses and look the other way. But we cannot look away, not when a schoolgirl has been caught up in this tragedy, not when mothers in towns across the country are too afraid to let their daughters walk alone, not when veterans sleep on the streets while taxpayer money funds hotel rooms for people who arrived without permission, not when our leaders vanish on holiday while communities are left to deal with the consequences. This is not just about politics, it's about trust. It's about who we are as a nation. Do we stand for our people, our children, our communities? Or do we abandon them in favor of a system that rewards those who break our laws and punishes those who dare to object? And so we are left with one unavoidable question. Can Yvette Cooper continue as Home Secretary after this? Can the British people trust the leader who argues that the rights of migrants outweigh the rights of citizens? Can we accept incompetence, hypocrisy, and absence as the new normal in government? Or has the time come for her to step aside? What do you think? Should Yvette Cooper resign immediately? Or is there any defense left for her actions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, because this debate is not just about politics, it's about the very future of Britain.